Hey everybody, Matt Barton with this week's Broker Minute or Two. We help a lot of people in the course of our business, and I think most of us do it not only so we can um, support our families and other things, but because we genuinely care about our clients and we understand the enormous value of real estate in building wealth. And this is all a setup for, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had either with agents or people that I know, and questions and confusion about, gosh, with rates so high, should we buy now? Isn't this a terrible time? So, the purpose of my message this week is one, to plug our sales meetings. I make it around to most of the sales meetings, and when I kind of tally up the number of people from office that come out to our sales meeting on a fairly regular basis, I'm looking at maybe 70 people, 70 to 90 people in the company, which means we're getting about a third of our agents to our sales meetings. And listen, you're 1099s. We can't force you to a sales meeting, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good information with a lot of intention that rolls into those sales meetings, and you get a lot of comments from your peers that hope from time to time open your eyes as to different ways to look at things or solutions. And so, just a plug. If you haven't made it a priority, we only do one sales meeting a month per your specific office. Make sure that's on your calendar. There's really good information. So, for instance, this latest sales meeting, Lifetime Home Loans, Rhett and his team put together, this slide deck, and we covered it in sales meeting. And you know what? I'm not going to go through the whole thing. One, because it's supposed to be broker minute or two, and I always take grief for how long these actually run. But I wanted to just show you a couple of quick things. This is one of the graphics in the slide deck, and it shows since 1940, year by year, what the increase has been on the value of homes. I'm not even going to get into the fact that this is a leveraged investment. You're writing up a multiple $100,000 property, but you only had to put maybe tens of thousands of dollars down, but you're writing up the whole value. But look at this. Every year that was positive is in green. So if we go, oh yeah, we had almost a flat line growth in 90 and 91, almost not worth mentioning. But you know what? We'll have some intellectual integrity here, and we'll say it. And then we have 2007, 8, 9, 10, and 11, which is known as the Great Recession, a once in a lifetime generational correction. Outside of that, guys, since 1940, right? So that's 83 years or 82 years. And out of those years, we had 7 years that weren't. And if you got rid of these two, it's really 5 years that we had some type of a meaningful correction. All right, so that is a great graphic, and thanks to Rhett and his team for giving us things like this. Then here's another interesting thing. The prognosticators, most of the people who are in the know and talk about where things are heading, anticipate about a point reduction sometime next year. It won't happen all at once. It's always a gradual thing. But with that, if we surrender that assumption, that means out of our population, 5 million more people will qualify for a home purchase. What does that mean for us in the state of Utah? Well, there's roughly 300 million people in the country, a little bit more. I'm going to stick with round numbers because the math's easier. If I take the state of Utah, which is roughly 3 million people, that means we are 1% of the population. So if I take 1% of 5 million, that means in Utah, with a rate change, there's potentially 50,000 new buyers potentially coming into play in 2024. What's the problem? The problem is we still don't have great amounts of inventory. So this is why we have been advising you in our sales meetings to start getting heavy or get fat on listings right now. Otherwise, in 2024, you're going to have some version of 2021 again, which you'll put in a high offer and all kinds of enticements, and you still potentially will lose out. And oh, by the way, pricing is going to go up. What does that really mean for pragmatic purposes? It's this slide, right? If you were to pay currently, meaning 2023 now, right, on a 500,000, which is close to our median sales price, you're going to invest $25,000. And that's assuming a good credit score, 7.5% interest rate, and your payments are $33.21 a month. Okay. And knowing that Lifetime Home Loans will do a no cost refi for you within a year. And let's say a year later, it's a percentage better. And so we take that same house with a modest amount of appreciation. And trust me, this is on the low side. 530,000. Most of the prognosticators are saying in 2024 there will be about a 10% increase. So we're being conservative here. That means that $500,000 house is now 530. And if you had done this, you put your 25,000 down here, you got 30,000 in equity. That means you now have $55,000 of equity, and we reduce you on your rate, and your payment goes from 3321 to 3002. Your payment goes down $300 a month, or over $3,700 a year, versus this third column, which is, what a lot of people knee jerk and do, which I'm just going to wait till rates get better. That is a bad strategy, especially when we have terribly low inventory, because you will be chasing the curve for the next 5 to 7 years. If you were to wait a year, that same $500,000 house, like we said, is $530,000 now, and multiple offers come in. You don't have the negotiation. You don't get closing costs paid. You don't get any price reductions, and your payment's going to be $32.21, right? When you compare that versus this payment, your people are saving $229 a month. They got tax benefits, and they have $55,000 in equity if they follow these first two columns. So I hope we're good at telling the story. We can say it full-throated. We can say it with intellectual honesty and integrity, and we really are looking out for the best interest of our clients. I hope that helps, and I want a huge shout out to Rhett and his team for being a proactive partner with us, looking to help us sell as much real estate as possible. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.